Plaintiff Rebecca Cobb says the defendant is her 24-year-old daughter, and Rebecca is tired of carrying her through life. Rebecca claims the defendant has 2 children, but she is unreliable and can't hold a job, and Rebecca is suing her today for unpaid rent. Defendant Keisha Gill says her life has been a living hell because her mother has been beating her since the age of 5. Keisha claims Rebecca hit her with hangers, belts, and even a crowbar. And as a result of the harsh punishment, she rebelled even more. Keisha denies owing her mother for anything.
Let's start with you.
Well, sir, I love my daughter with all my heart, but enough's enough, and I've had enough. I've carried her for quite some time now.
9 months, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and boy, that was
Start
hard.
there, right?
And she's just really unreliable. She won't hold a job. She's lied to me several times.
How old is she?
24.
How did she do as a youngster?
She done good in school and everything. But she has two babies that are my grandbabies. And anything she usually wants, she uses those babies, you know, as an excuse to get it.
What did she do after high school?
She went to military school and then came back home to Indiana, and she graduated from high school.
Oh, after high school, yeah.
And then she pretty much went from there, like from this job or that job, and she's really had a hard time.
You encourage her to go to get a trade or a college education?
Well, she went, but she didn't finish.
Okay.
And I've tried to encourage her to go, you know.
When did she stop?
Why?
When did she stop?
I don't remember exactly.
Okay. Why did she stop?
I'm assuming because of the grandbabies.
Okay, she had a child while she was in college or trade school?
She has 2 children.
She had them while she was in school?
Well, one of them she did, and then the next one was after she quit school.
All right. Why don't you give me
some... You got to go to trade school for that?
No, you don't have to go to trade school to learn how to have a child. No. Go ahead, young lady. You tell me. Give me some background.
Growing up, my life has been hell from the time I was 5 till now.
How?
My mom, from the time I was 5, she beat me with hangers, belts.
No.
She's hit me.
Let her speak, ma'am.
She's hit me with a crowbar before. She's thrown fans at me. Any blunt object that she could get her hands on, I have been hit with.
Was there any other people in the household?
No, my brother lived with my dad, or with his dad, because his dad didn't want
So it was just the 2 of you?
Yeah, his dad didn't want my brother to be around my mom and grow up the way I was growing up. It's always been guys.
How often would she physically abuse you?
Every day, every other day.
Why?
Just
What
over
would she
little
say?
things. If I spilled something, as in a drink, if I made a mess. Granted, I was hard to handle growing up, but it didn't help the way she punished me. It just made me rebel more.
And the military school, how did you
I
come
loved
upon
it.
that?
I actually got court ordered there because when I was 11 and a half or so, she had me pinned on the bed by my shoulders, hitting me in the face repeatedly. And she had sprained her right ankle, and I flipped her off of me, and I put my hands on my mom. I regret it, but I made a promise to myself after that I wouldn't ever touch my mom again. And I went to juvie, I went to homeless shelters for troubled kids, 4 of them. Community North, 5th floor at Bloomington Hospital.
Starting at what age?
Meadows. This has
11?
been going on since I was younger than that.
11, you say?
Younger than 11. But that's when I put my hands physically on my mom that started the military school, because it was either
military. You going in and out of either juvenile or sounds like homes. What age did that start?
I want to say 7 or 8.
Ma'am, let me hear from you on this.
I don't remember ever hitting her with no coat hanger.
Let's go with leaving the home.
Pardon?
Leaving the home. She said she would go and stay at facilities or residences, residential.
Well, at the age of 7, she had a real hard time with the situation with her dad that she was having back then. That led into a lot of psychological problems for her.
So it sounds like what you're saying is that she was troubled for a variety of reasons, and that continued. She received counseling.
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
And she says that she went from facility to facility because of abuse by you, physical abuse, and you deny it. All right. So I am convinced that you've been troubled for whatever reason, and I can understand some of the behaviors that you describe and that she describes. If either or both are true, I kind of understand it based on what I'm hearing in terms of the troubled life that you've lived, whether it's issues with your dad or issues at home with your mom. Understood.
Growing up, my life has been hell from the time I was 5 till now.
How?
My mom, from the time I was 5, she beat me with hangers, belts.
No.
She's hit me.
Let her speak, ma'am.
She's hit me with a crowbar before. She's thrown fans at me.
Defendant Keisha Gill says the plaintiff is her mother, and Keisha claims she's been beating her since the age of 5.
Now the rent. How does she owe you for rent?
Well, I let her move. She had the first baby, which is 5 now, and I'm sorry, but I wasn't going to let my grandbaby be homeless. I mean, I've let her live there, and I told her from the get-go, I cannot let you live here for nothing. I have to pay a payment. I have to pay the taxes on it. I have to keep the insurance up on it. And
When did she move in?
right after she had the first baby.
Okay, and when was that?
In 09.
She agreed to pay rent. How much?
And I was only going to charge her $200 a month. I thought that was fair. And then in 2010, then she moved a guy in with her, which she later had a baby by. And they promised, that they would do stuff to the house, and they didn't.
How much did they agree to rent?
And then when she moved him in, she promised me, "Oh, Mom, he'll work on it." And I said, "Okay,
The
if he's
same
going
amount of rent?
No, I said if he's going to live there, I can't take care of him too. It's not my place to take care of him."
How much did they agree to rent?
So I said $300 a month.
And they agreed?
Yes, they did.
All right, and that was in 2010. What month?
Yes.
Do you recall?
May 1st
All
is
right,
when
May
she
of
moved him in.
2010, $300 a month. And how much did they pay since then?
Maybe, probably $1,500 maybe at most.
Making your allegation in that way is going to be hard for you to prove your case.
Well,
we had an agreement to so and so. Well, how much they pay?
Well, I've kept track of
$1,500,
it.
whatever you want to say, Judge. Whatever you.
I've kept
you gotta
track
prove
of it.
There you go. That's
From
what you
day one.
That's what I need.
And I'm giving her a break,
Okay.
trying to, because I just didn't want my grandbabies to be out.
I got you. How much has she paid in the last year?
None.
All right, there you go. Ma'am, last year,
The
how much have
last
you paid
year,
in rent?
I have paid $3,150. When my daughter's dad got a better job, there was a couple months that I did not pay, but we were working, doing things on the house, and the agreement was whatever we done to the house, materials would come off the back rent or pay for rent, depending on what we done. The time and effort put into it would come off of the back rent. And I have here, we started paying double in April of 2014. We started paying $600 a month. I wasn't directly giving it to her. I was giving it to my stepdad because he was the one paying the rent, and I would tell her and she would write it down. But most of the time, the last several months, she was only writing maybe one payment here because I wasn't giving it to her, and it was upsetting her.
What makes you think she was writing down one payment here and one payment there?
Because she's got a blue book. And when I looked at her book.
Hold on. Let's see. Oh, you looked at her book and
When
saw
I
what?
looked at her book, I noticed that there was several payments that were not on there, and I said something to her.
For 14.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see your books, because you
From
say
there
she
to
paid
here.
0 in 2014.
There to here?
That's what you've told me.
No,
So let's
yeah.
see if there's any payment that's listed. All right, from January, that's what you were saying, January, right?
Yes.
There was some monies paid by your own notes, ma'am.
She also did not take off what we done to the front yard.
How much do you want taken off for that?
The remaining balance of the $350, because it was every bit of $400 for
Okay.
the field
So you're
dirt,
saying you want $400 credit for the work,
for the work that was done and the
and you
materials.
paid $3,100. That's what you said?
Yes.
All right.
Sir, her boyfriend went and got a bag of grass seed.
Yeah. Now let's get back to the payments, because you told me she paid 0.
Well, I'm kind of nervous, and
Well, let's try it again.
I have to have my record
Let's
there.
have it, please. Give
to
her
remember.
that. Okay.
I've kept track of every dime that she's paid and what she hasn't. I mean,
How much has she paid?
150, 150, 150, and 100.
All right. And why do you think your mother would make this up?
We were so far behind with the rent, and
When?
the last 4.5 years,
Okay.
that my stepdad wasn't wanting me to live there, so we were trying to make an effort to fix the house, because I felt bad. He was paying for us, and he shouldn't have been.
So you say you've paid $600 a month since April?
Up until 8/14.
No.
Hold on. So 5 months. You paid $600 each month.
He was getting paid a decent amount that we could actually afford to pay
Right.
all of our bills.
But I'm saying that's what was paid. And so you think she's making this up? Why again?
This
She
is just
decided to
my
come from out of state, ask for $3,500, when actually you've paid her $3,100. So why do you think she's doing that?
My mom is a very money-hungry person.
This is the first time she's done it?
Legally, yes. Like, sued me, yeah.
Yeah, first time she's come after you for money?
She's not even going after my daughter's dad, who lived there with
No,
me.
no, she's going after you. That's my point.
Just me.
Is this the first time?
With this, yes.
No, period.
No.
Tell me the other time she's come after you for money.
So when I was 16, I went to a military school. I kept asking her to get long distance because all of my friends lived in Indianapolis, not in Bedford. And instead of getting long distance and me talking on the phone with my friends, I racked up a $900 and some telephone bill that I paid her. I actually paid her $1,200 after my dad died, and the money that I got from his insurance, that's what I paid her back with. Because
sued
she
you?
was going to sue me for it, but
Oh, you owed her.
she did file it through the court, but then I don't know what happened.
You owed her, though.
Yes, I did.
She was troubled for a variety of reasons, and that continued. She received counseling.
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
And she says that she went from facility to facility because of abuse by you, physical abuse, and you deny it.
Defendant Keisha Gill says the plaintiff is her mother. And Keisha claims she's been beating her since the age of 5.
So the only time she's come after you for money is when you've owed her.
Yes.
All right, and so that's why she's coming after you today, because you owe her. $3,500 is your judgment. You have absolutely no proof, and as you said, she's done this before. What has she done before? She's come after me for money. Why did she come after you for money? Because I ran the bill up. So you owed her the money that she came after you for? Yes. And she's doing the same thing today, coming after you for the money you owe her. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff. I believe you.
Thank you, sir.
Your testimony and your records are more reliable and believable than hers. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Just want to go home, take care of my kids. like I've been doing.
I'm sorry, but it was very hurtful to have to do that. But you gotta,
You never gave me a chance.
You gotta man up. I've had a lot of patience with you.
Sure you have. Go ahead, cry a little more.